Uh, I want to talk about this kind of logjam right now we are in, because it seems like Donald Trump and the U.S. Leadership, especially, they don't have any viable option left, because if they just walk away right now, it would be perceived throughout the world and even in the United States also. It would be a humiliating defeat for them. But it looks as if the ground option to achieve the regime change would require a significant ground troops. Do you think that US can seriously escalate this war by putting ground troops and getting a regime change in Iran, or do you think it's just an unachievable dream?
Mission impossible. It can't be done. Look, and when I say that, people, you can say, well, okay, yeah, they could do it. They could do it if they would draft. Current size of the U.S. Army is about 450,000. So all they need to do is draft 2.6 million new fighters. Then you have to train them. And already, if you're drafting that many people, and let's say on average, you're paying them, you got 2.5 million, and you're paying them $50,000 on average is the cost for training and equipping them, and that's probably pretty low. We're up into the billions, approaching trillion, 13 trillion, 1.3 trillion dollars, something like that. I mean, it's an enormous amount of money. And then, okay, let's say that you're able to recruit them, and you're able to get them trained. All right, how are you going to get them to Iran? You're going to put them on a ship, okay? And where's that ship going to sail? And at what point are you going to offload the troops? Are you going to sail them through the Red Sea? Seem to recall there's some folks there, and they're called the Houthis.
Yep.
And the Houthis got missiles and things that they could attack those ships. So the odds of the United States getting its personnel through there safely would be limited. I guess you could fly them on aircraft, but that's a lot of plane flights to haul 2.6 million soldiers to the front. When you consider that a C-17, which is a big aircraft, it can carry 104 troops that are fully loaded for combat. Well, okay, so it just gives you some idea about how big the number is at that point. And then once you get them on the ground, okay, where are you going to put them so that they're not going to be attacked? It's just, it's ridiculous. You sit there and say, okay, because if you put them in Saudi Arabia or Jordan or Kuwait, they're going to be vulnerable to missile strikes. This is not like 23 years ago when the U.S. could build up its forces in Saudi Arabia. That was only 165,000. Okay, we're now talking millions, because you're going to need at least a 3-to-1 advantage in manpower over Iran, and Iran's got about 1 million troops between the IRGC and the regular army. I guess they call it Resh and
Basij militia.
And the Basij militia as well. So you're going to be at about 3 million. And where are you going to put them? And then how are they going to invade? Well, they're going into a country that's as mountainous, at least in the western half, as Afghanistan. So it's just, in theory, you can say, okay, this is what we're going to do, but man, you're looking at a year and a half project that's going to be terribly expensive. And then when you're done with it, there's no guarantee of success. So it's a fool's dream. And that's where what this has exposed is the limitation of the United States in being able to pursue war. This is the second time in less than a year that the U.S. has tried to use its military power and has failed. First was with the Houthis, now it's with Iran.